If you have any problems getting around this Christmas,
Christmas line, only 448
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
Hi, I'm Des Clark, and this is the best of Unbroadcast Breaking the News. A chance for you to hear bits from the show that didn't quite make the edit the first time around, and give you the live recording experience with bloopers, hilarious tangents, and things the lawyers say they're fine with now. Here's a flavour of what's coming up.
Why is Orkney getting the praise?
Never stop kissing me like that.
Yeah. It's better be funny, son.
Even worse, she still don't have a dog.
Exactly. So am I awake?
Write poetry about bikini lines, I don't know.
It's the President of America. Siobhan, kill a virgin. Kill a virgin immediately.
It was so random, it looked like we were on a witness protection programme.
Eventually we just wedged this guy called Harold.
You've got all those brilliant comedians to look forward to and more over the next half hour. Let's kick things off with Ashley Storey, Ria Lina, Gareth Waugh and Pierre Novelli in a conversation about how to keep your mind sharp.
Ashley, what about you? How do you keep your mind sharp?
Well, I don't, and that's evident, but I like to watch Korean dramas without the subtitles on and try to guess what's happening. I watched a thing about a lady who fell in a puddle all the way back to the Middle Ages. I'm pretty sure that's what happens.
It's a long puddle.
And then she fell in love with the king. And then I watched another one about a nun who pretended to be a boy because her brother went in for eyelid surgery and couldn't blink anymore, so she had to replace him in the band. And she was called Gomi Nam, and she was great, and all the boys in the band fell in love with her, I think, because I didn't have subtitles.
So am I awake?
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Honestly, give it a go. There's loads of great Korean dramas on all your streamers, Netflix and the like, and they're so fun and different. And it's not like, you know how when you watch British TV, it's like, oh, mum died and everything's sad. And then you watch that and it's like, I'm a nun who's also a boy who can sing, and there's a king from the Dark Ages jump in a puddle. It's great.
So, Gareth, if you give me the same answer as Ashley, I'll be very surprised. As he does scrub it out his paper. Listen, each to their own, everyone's got something different. Gareth, how are you keeping your mind sharp then?
Red Diesel. No, I don't think I ever feel sharp anymore. I think, well, cause I'm a new dad. My son's 6 months old. Aww. So I haven't felt sharp since December at all. He's just absolutely destroyed my brain. And I mean, it wasn't that sharp to begin with.
Can I just say, from someone who's been through childbirth 3 times to you, oh, you poor thing.
No sympathy for Gareth Waugh there, he'll be fine. Next, it's Amy Matthews on the cost of living, followed by Jamie McDonald's story about why he was told off in a Berlin spa.
Amy, what about you? Have you been finding things getting more expensive for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Same as everyone, I think. And you know as well that it started to really affect supermarkets, like the prices as well, because even when you want to give to charity now in a supermarket, you can't even do it with money. They just give you a little plastic coin. Have you seen these? They give you a little bit of plastic once you've finished your shop. And then at the end of your shop, there's 3 Perspex tubes. And there's 3 different charities. And you get to vote for which charity you think is most worthy of not your money. It's quite dystopian. And there's one in my local supermarket that's for a beach cleaning charity in Musselburgh, right? So what they do is they take a plastic out of the water so it doesn't end up in a fish's home. And you can vote for this by putting a plastic coin in a tank.
Jamie, what's been your most memorable European experience?
Well, mine was, it was in Berlin. It was my stag do 2016. We were at one of these kind of wellness places, all the different types of swimming pools and stuff. There's a load of us in. And my brother and I went into one of these hot tubs. And then 3 butt-naked German lads joined us. And the badmaster ran over, blowing his whistle like this. He's like, they're going to get these guys out. And he told me and my brother to take our trunks off. Yeah, it was like this was the naked pool, and everyone was. So, of course we didn't.
We know that's not the real end to that story. I've actually looked up what Jamie was talking about there. So a bathmaster is either the person in charge at a German spa or an off-brand Doctor Who bath bomb. You decide. Now, before we move on, I just want to let you into a bit of behind-the-scenes breaking the news magic. You know that whooshing noise you hear in between every clip? You probably think that's just a sound effect, but it's not. I actually throw a boomerang every time to create that noise. Listen. There you are. See, no expense spared here at Radio Scotland. And that boomerang leads me nicely into a clip that features one of my favourite Australian comics, Felicity Ward, plus Mark Jennings, Val McDermid and farmer-turned-comedian Jim Smith talking about the things they can't live without. Right, here we go. Oh, that sounded expensive.
Mark, what about yourself? Is there that one thing that you can't live without you'd always pay through the nose for?
Organic vegetables, because I will not, I refuse to settle for anything less than the freshest, healthiest produce to go straight in the bin after it's lain uneaten for a week.
Only the best, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, Val, what about yourself? Come on, let's hear. Is there one thing that you can't live without you'd always pay through the nose for?
Coffee beans. But that's for your safety.
These are brilliant. Jim, what about you? Final thoughts. What's the one thing you can't live without that you'll always pay through the nose for?
I think my Spotify account.
Really?
Aye, I like my music when I'm in my tractor.
What kind of music are you playing in the tractor?
Oh, it's very varied. Very varied. Pete and Diesel, Bonnie Tyler, White Snake.
A lot of big 80s rock.
Bits and pieces as well, though. Like
bits and pieces, the dance.
Bucketheads, all that kind of. Yeah, I like that new one. What's that one? Set me free, set me free. You know that new one?
You have never sounded more like a dad in your life. No, you know set me. You know the one is the guy with the voice.
Yeah. And well, of course, I need to listen to Baby Club. That's when Alice, my daughter's in the
Jim,
tractor.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think "Set Me Free" is a song. It's just the animals shouting at you.
I think it's a cry for help.
Jim, is listening to country music too much of a busman's holiday for you? Or?
I like Chuchter.
Oh, I was going to ask.
I take the floor, fit like men. Aye.
Felicity, do you know what's going on?
I haven't been present for the last hour. Can I ask you a serious question? This is not a joke at all. Why can't I buy much lamb in the UK? Why can't I buy... I go to the lamb section, there's just 8 chops and...
I know, not all...
You can get New Zealand lamb here more readily available than, Welsh lamb.
I know. Don't even buy the Welsh lamb, just...
Well, I'm not getting Scottish down in London. I'm sorry.
Oh, if I'd known that, I could have had a bootload in the back of the car if you phoned me earlier.
This is...
Stick it in my handbag on EasyJet back down home. What's that smell? Oh, it's just got a couple
in
of...
almost 250 episodes, this is the weirdest tangent.
Talking giblets now.
Oh. Lovely work. Dad songs, dad jokes. Thank you. We will try and steer this ship back towards Breaking the News, the topical comedy show.
Always be sure to put your lamb in your check bag rather than your carry-on. Now, at the Edinburgh Festivals, comedian Marcus Brigstock was on the show and he told us about why being the best man at his wedding might be one of the toughest gigs in the world.
At my first wedding, I've been married twice, and my much younger brother was best man both times, bless him. And the first time I got married, he was only 19 years old, and he got up to do the best man speech, and Lee Mack and Ross Noble were standing right in front of where he gave the speech, and he was only 19, bless him. And Lee Mack, right next to Ross Noble, just looked at him and went, "This better be funny, son."
And I thought a Friday night at the Laugh Factory in Carluke was a tough gig. Wow. Now, if you were in charge of the school curriculum, What would you have young people learn about? That's just a question that I put to Janie Godley.
What other life skills should be in the school curriculum? Janie, what do you think?
Teaching children how to manage the money, how to get a mortgage, what that actually means, being interested in the interest rate. I knew none of that when I left school, and I still, even when my accountant explains things to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about. And I should know, so I think that that's really important, those life skills. Also, learning how to clean round a toilet.
Under the rim as well.
I live with two people who recently said, I did not know that's how you cleaned a toilet. And I'm like, when I die, this house is all just gone, you know, like the pictures of just trees grow everywhere. I'm like, who do you think? Young people should be taught how, I don't mean just inside, you have to clean round, you have to clean round the back, you have to go down on your knees.
Yeah.
And you've got to get your hand right round and wash that bit of the floor and see that wall beside it.
Yeah.
Men pee on that. I mean, like that. You know how years ago you would see people on the telly go, this is the hand in a cave in Mesopotamia. This is a special site. No, it's no. That was a bloke with his hand in the wall. Peeing everywhere.
Not just maths, but a bit of history from Janie there too. Now, people can be very picky about what they eat, maybe because of the smell or the texture, but for Ian Smith, it's the flatness of his meals that count.
I think it's just weird, but I used to, when I was a kid, I'd get my packed lunch, I'd have a little penguin biscuit, and in woodwork class, I'd put the biscuit in a vice to make it like really flat, and because I used to think the biscuit tasted better when it was like compact. Because, like, the flavour's condensed. And then I got really paranoid in my head because I thought, what if I like everything flat in a vice? And I don't want to see where that downward spiral takes me. Just putting my sandwich, I just kept putting stuff in woodwork equipment and then eating it. Yeah, and I think that makes me come across a bit odd.
Yeah.
Have you seen a square sausage?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna lose your mind.
Oh, I love it. Just making everything a bit more symmetrical, please.
We've just figured out you should move here. We've got the flattest foods in the world.
Square sausage would literally be that man's vice. You also heard Jay Lafferty in there. Earlier in the year, Orkney Council caused a bit of a stir by voting on a motion to investigate alternative forms of governance, including becoming a self-governing territory of Norway. Our resident Shetlander Marjolaine Robertson shares what she thinks of that proposal before Raymond Mearns sticks his foot in it.
Do you think we're seeing the start of an islands revolution?
Why is Orkney getting the praise? Like, firstly, Faroe did this a long time ago from Denmark when they devolved, and the benefits are countless. They have so much money, and also you can have a joint passport between Faroe and Denmark. Best of both worlds, just like that TV show Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana. But also, Shetland actually had this very discussion in September 2020 when they voted in favour of more devolvement from the government and Shetland doing its own thing. And I can't believe no one here is discussing that or noticed. I mean, this is the first time I have spoken English in 2.5 years and not French.
You do it very well.
Do you know what I think Orkney need to do? I've been to Orkney, by the way, and it's phenomenal. There's not much happening in Shetland. I've got to be honest, I've been there as well. Oh. But I'm serious, right? Orkney just needs to sell an Instagram page or something, or get a sell on TikTok. Because there's things to do in Orkney. I was up in Thurso once and I was bored out of my mind. What's the chances, right? So I decided that what I would do, I would go to Orkney for the day. Just the day, by the way, right? And we got a boat out and we saw the Churchill barriers at Scapa Flow. We saw the Italian chapel. We went to Skara Brae, the Ring of Brodgar. Everything. Orkney's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal place. I mean, to spend 2 days there, I don't know if there's much else. I got to be honest. But that day I was there, that was a full day. I felt really fulfilled.
Hey, I'm glad.
Orkney just needs to market itself, that's all.
Shetland's got lots going on. You just need to be there at the right time. Like, there's a story about these fishermen who were off fishing on the Isle of Fulla, and they saw this little light at night time just swinging back and forth, just in the middle of the night. And they thought, what is that light? So the fishermen landed on the Isle of Fulla and went to sea, and it was a man, this was September time, with his scythe and a pretty lantern hanging off the end of it, cutting his corn. And he's like, boys, I've not been awake during daylight hours for some weeks now, so I thought I better get this corn cut tonight. You just need to...
Yeah, there's a guy doing it all year round. It's not really a tourist attraction.
Do you have the Grim Reaper living in Shetland? Well, that's a lovely way to attract everybody to come to...
Come to Shetland, there's a guy working.
It's...
Well, I don't think Raymond is going to be joining the Orkney Shetland Tourism Board anytime soon. In a moment, Chris Forbes will be telling us about a text message he regrets sending. But first, here's Crystal Evans on theatre etiquette, along with a slightly confused Jeff Norcott.
What do you think then, Crystal? Can theatres do more? How can theatres better prepare audiences?
They started making musicals out of popular mainstream films and then casting pop stars. It's like people who go to these are not theater or musical fans. You know, they're fans of the Pussycat Dolls and The Bodyguard. Like, just watch next. They're going to come out with a musical called Pumpkin Spice Latte starring Ariana Grande. You know, see what I did there with the Grande.
Grande Ferry.
I was just thinking, these things always... Ariana Grande does sound like a coffee as well.
Yeah. That was my point.
Oh, God.
Have you ever put something in a message that you wish you hadn't?
I've looked it up so I can remember it so clearly here. It was awful. And my wife, on her hen do, she was going to... They set her up with a few different things, but she was doing a life drawing of a nude male. And she wasn't really into that type of thing. And she was like, I'm embarrassed about doing it. I don't want to do it. And I was sending her text messages. We were just sort of having a laugh about it. And she said, I'm really self-conscious about going to that. And I'd sent her a wee message saying, just enjoy it. Have fun. You can always do something abstract, you know, for a laugh. I said, try not to stare at it directly. Right. But I accidentally sent that to our dog groomer when the dog... And it's just the thought every time cracks me up with the dog groomer being like, how am I supposed to do this?
Even worse, she still don't have a dog.
Exactly.
You're listening to the best of Unbroadcast Breaking the News from BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Coming up, you'll hear what Ray Bradshaw really thinks about Kaylee dancing and why Ignacio Lopez plays the guitar. But before that, it's Susan Riddle on the modern day student experience.
What do you think, Susan? Is it better to be a student now than it used to be?
No. I've been a student twice, so the first thing I studied was beauty therapy, and then I went on to do English literature. For some reason.
Were you trying to read their eyebrows?
Write poetry about bikini lines, like, I don't know.
Aye, when they said wax lyrical, that's not what they meant. Ignacio, what about you? Do you play an instrument?
I do, actually. You know, Spanish people, I think, are very musical. When I was born, the doctor didn't slap my butt; he did castanets. I play the guitar. I got the guitar to get women to leave me alone because I'm a good-looking guy. But when they see the guitar, they're like, "This guy's got no prospects." All right.
Choose your instrument carefully. Kaylee dancing in the news. Ray, do you enjoy a bit of Kaylee dancing?
I don't, actually. Oh. I really don't. Nah, the only time I've ever enjoyed a Kaylee was my mate's wedding in Cheltenham, and it was all the Scottish people, and it was the most Scottish, like, meta thing I've ever seen happen, that we convinced the English guy that was dancing in the, whatever the sixth one is, that you have to wedgie an Englishman to finish a Kaylee dance. But, like, we all split into, like, different parts. So I said that, like, as a joke. And then one of my mates was like, yeah, that's why we were cult Scottish people, because it can't happen to us. And then the other one went, yeah, where do you think the word Glaswegian comes from? And then eventually we just wedgied this guy called Harold. It was the only time I've ever really enjoyed a Kaylee.
Ray Bradshaw there. Up next is a clip featuring Chris Forbes, Susie McCabe and Roscoe McClelland. It starts off as a question about MSP Ash Regan switching political parties, but takes an unusual turn towards chess.
Oh, Chris, what do you think about this then? Ash Regan jumping ship. Are you surprised at this move?
Not hugely surprised. No, not hugely. And it kind of feels like, because she likes to still, bang on about the independents mostly. It's just a diagonal move, really, as well. She's a bishop's piece on a chessboard there. And I'd like to have seen her more like the horse, maybe just catch people off guard. That would have been surprising if she joined the Raven Lunatics party or the Robot party. She's a rook or a bishop. I want to see her act like a queen or a horse. I'm just going to keep naming chess pieces. Hang on, wait a minute. What if we were playing drafts?
No.
I've got a chess set where we lost some of the bits and there's a wee figurine of Jesus that we have to use.
Right,
He's all muscly and
the
rich, it's
chess
really
set
good.
now. They've lost some of their bits.
See if you're playing with that chess set and you're using Jesus, right?
Aye.
See the person that captures them?
Aye.
Like, what do you call them? Are you like, oh, you big Roman?
Oh, I didn't know you had the Judas piece on.
Or like, do you like trade them for like 40 pieces of silver? like what happens then? Like, so then what happens if you're like, haha, I've got to your side of the board, and you're like, free Barabbas?
The
I want to give me
is,
this chess.
See, if you do have the Jesus piece, the game goes on for ages, because even if you take him, you have to like wait 3 days and you can put him back on the board.
A bit of European culture for you now, as Tatty McLeod tells us about why moving to France in the 90s might not have been the best idea for her and her mum.
Who's your childhood icon and why?
Well, I'm going to go a bit earnest and I'm going to say my mum.
Oh.
Yeah, my mum. My mum, she's a really, she's a kind of woman, she's not afraid of a challenge. I always say my mum's the kind of person, you give her lemonade, she will make lemons. That's her kind of energy. When we moved to France, because I know some of you are interested in this, when we moved to France in 1994, my mum was a recently divorced single parent with 4 daughters. She didn't have any relationship to France. She didn't have a job out there. She doesn't speak French. She's a vegan who doesn't drink. It was so random, it looked like we were on a witness protection programme.
A bit of US politics for you now, as Susan Riddle, Neil Delamere, Liam Withnaw and Dana Alexander chat about President Biden's visit to the UK and discuss if Americans own kettles.
Do you think it's been a good trip for your President Biden?
Absolutely. I like the way you call him your president,
Yeah.
as well, because the difference between when he comes here and he's here for a matter of hours and everybody's like, oh, he's here again. When Irish-American President Joe Biden went to Ireland, people lost their minds. People were like, oh, it's the President of America. Siobhan, kill a virgin immediately. We are not letting the president come here without some sort of human sacrifice to offer him. It was amazing, the difference.
So, short trip, Susan, but do you think it was a good trip for President Biden?
I don't know, I'd see President Biden, right, maybe this is just because I'm from the East End of Glasgow, but I'm just not used to seeing somebody that old cutting about. Do you know what I mean? Like, it looks like a Quentin Blake illustration. So it looks like he's going to blow away, like he's made of paper. Like, I don't know, he's just all jaggy and frail, and I don't know, I feel like if you shook his horn, you'd get a paper cut. You know that way? Like...
Liam, what do you think? What do you think America can learn from the UK?
Americans, I learned recently, don't have kettles.
This is true, yeah, he's
Who
right.
told you that?
What?
It's about the electricity supply.
Yeah, they don't have kettles. Like, many American houses don't have, like, electric kettles.
Is this true?
No.
It's not kettles. Americans don't have free speech.
Always getting too confused.
Oh, that's like the pot calling the kettle free speech.
I can't believe that some Americans don't own a kettle. Although, to be fair, I do make my tea the old-fashioned way. I ring this wee bell and somebody appears with it. Now, in a moment, you'll hear from Scott Agnew about a camping trip gone awry. But first, here's Marie-Elaine Robertson, Jamie McDonald and Connor Burns on Scottish football and whistles. Ah, there's my tea. Oh, lovely.
What do you think our fans will bring to the tournament?
Instructions.
Instructions?
My favourite part about watching football is watching other people watching football and they're like, get it, shoot that ball into the goals. And I'm and I think we should shout more instructions to more people at their jobs. Like I'll sit on a plane going, land! Plane! And I would shout it over the sea because I've always wanted to land in the water and get to use one of those whistles.
It's going to have to be pretty loud, the whistle, isn't it? I've always thought that, like you're in the middle of the Pacific with a little life jacket, a little light, and a little whistle going. Like, oh, here come the cavalry.
They didn't hear the plane crash.
Scott, what about you? Do you have a love for the great outdoors?
Oh no, I was put off by the great outdoors very early. I had a camping expedition when I was 15. Picture this at 1996, right? And me and my pal decided we were going to go round Arran for the week, right? And we got ourselves onto the ferry across the Atlantic. This is the days when you could get a ferry, right? So. His sun was splitting the rocks, it was, we had our pieces with us, with our sandwiches, lashings and lashings of ginger beer. It was the full Enid Blyton minus the racism, right? And we were just looking for glorious times and gay days ahead, right? And I thought, God's definitely smiling on us. And then we docked at Brodick and God got a wee bit incontinent, shall we say, right? And this wasn't biblical rain, right? This was Hampden Stadium squeegee rain, right? And it's at that point you just thought that as far as a gay man's concerned, camping should remain in the discotheques, right?
That's just about it for me and the best of Unbroadcast breaking the news for 2023. I hope you've enjoyed hearing it all for the first time. I will leave you with this bit of fun nonsense from Pierre Novelli and Ashley Storey. Now, sometimes Ashley refers to herself as Ashley Gump, as in Forrest Gump. She has weird connections to historical figures. So when I asked her about her first time at a festival, I wasn't expecting this.
I also had my first ever champagne at Glastonbury. It's an Ashley Gump moment, but it was Winston Churchill's granddaughter used to book the comedy tent at Glastonbury, Arabella Churchill, and she gave me my first ever champagne out of the bottle that she had also drank from, so Churchill spit in my mouth. Tasting history.
It's a story that just got better and better as it went along. Churchill Spit are also a band that are playing on the main stage this weekend. I mean, top that is all I can say. We're talking about festival experiences. Glastonbury weekend is here. Peter, what about you? Have you got any festival experiences for us?
Yeah, I kissed Winston Churchill, yes.
And did you like it?
Of course. Of course, he said, never, never, never stop kissing me like that. Yeah. No, I was at festival.
We were snog on the beaches. And land and sea.
That was a good church.
That's lovely, yeah. Did it bring it back for you?
The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye.